Well, we are back live here for Evaluation Race 5. I do apologise, anybody that is tuning in, for what I can only describe as very unexplained connection issues. Keeps on coming up with stream errors. Hopefully, a switch to the new controller has done the trick. Hopefully, we're going to see some good action. I will commentate on the start. Hopefully, the stream doesn't end or anything like that. We are going to get underway very shortly indeed. The 5 red lights are about to come on here at the Autodromo Nacional de Monza. This is race 5 here of the evaluation races. Hopefully we're going to get a start. It looks like everyone is on the grid. No revving engines just yet. No 5 lights just yet either. I think we've got somebody there. 5 lights are now coming on. Better go green here in Monza. And it's lights out and away we go. Very, very laggy start there by Nadal further down the field, but AMG gets a very good start. Charlie trying to go around the outside and down towards turn 1. Quite a lot of connection issues actually from Nadal. He's ghosting inside of each other as they run down towards turn 1. 2 into 1 doesn't go, but AMG is through safely with Charlie. Conti and Jeffrey, 3rd and 4th through turn 1, and it looks like for now we're all fine. Schumi, Nadal has had a bit of a spin in the further back down the field, but now towards the De La Rocha chicane for the first time. It's F1 AMG, the German, who leads. Charlie 2nd, and Zero tries to go around the outside of Jeffrey for 4th position. Doesn't quite. Silas is through on, just struggling through. Very good start. A bit of a Constantino effect happening further down the field, but it's F1. Conti 3rd, Jeffrey 4th, Zero and 5th, Maximus in 6th, and here comes Maximus, the AlphaTauri, trying to down the straight here in towards Ascari. You can see him right in front of shot, and 5-0 down to P6, and hopefully a very good start from everyone as F1 AMG leads the way. Miles is round through Ascari. There's the predicted pit stop strategy. It is individual to every single driver out on track, but it's F1 AMG who leads. Charlie 2nd, Conti 3rd, Maximus goes very wide there through Parabolica. Could give Zero a run as Salas has got the move. As F1 AMG has dropped down through positions, he hasn't, because that's a bit of a glitch on my on the end of the stream, I should say. Everyone is glitching out completely, which is fantastic to see as we go down the straight. Maze there, and Tom and Robin. Tom trying to fight around the outside of Robin. Robin actually gets the move done down the inside. That is for 6th position, I think, out on track. And there's a spinner through turn 1, and it looks like it was Art Vanderlei further down the field. So Art Vanderlei has spun. Hopefully we'll get a recalculation of the positions, so I know where everyone is. It is very, very hard to really commentate at the same time while everything changes on the left-hand side. Zero on the back of Maximus. Oh, this is for 6th position. Oh, Maximus down the inside of Conti. Makes contact through the first Lesbo. Conti round the outside, gets the move done, and Zero is going to take full advantage of that. These guys have got a light on the line, but they've got to keep it clean while doing so. Osiris now seems on the way past Zero, and now is on the back of Maximus. Is he going to get the move done down the straight? I don't think he will, but Zero around the outside holds sway for 7th. Salas through, and he's up to 6th, and there's Jeffrey round. Jeffrey is round through Ascari. Unbelievable stuff. The Tifosi team are not going to be happy with that one at all. And Jeffrey is round through turn 1. The timings have really glitched on my screen, but F1 AMG leads, probably about a 2-second gap as he comes across the line, and it's a 1.6-second gap indeed. Conti now 3rd, with Maximus in 4th. 3.6 seconds separating Charlie and Conti at this stage, and it looks like F1 Robin is now going to go for the move on Zero. There is Zero to the left-hand side. You can see him trying to fight the racing point around the outside. He's very late on the brakes. Robin even later on the brakes, though, trying to get the move done. Tries to switch back to perfection. Not getting the move done. It looks like everything is going swimmingly so far in terms of the stream. It looks like the controller swap has done the trick. F1 AMG lead from Charlie 2nd, Conti 3rd, Maximus 4th, Silas in 5th, Zero 6th, F1 Robin in 7th. Let's have a look at the position gains early on, and the position changes actually from earlier on in the race. Schumi has dropped down a position there past Storm. But quite a lot of positives within the top 14 on the grid, or within the top 13 I should say on the grid. F1 AMG and Charlie have all stayed in positions, have both stayed in positions, as well as Maze. So there is Maze trying to chase down Tom, but Zero on the back as NSR Storm has left the session. Not sure if Brewich got the move done there. Schumi is on the back of the AI car further down the field, but Zero in the meantime on the back of Silas. We'll try and swap between battles if we can. Obviously there's going to be quite a lot of action here in Monza, and we'll going towards the end of lap 4 already. So if you're just tuning in to Evaluation Race 5, this is the race here in Evaluation Race 5, and it's F1 AMG who leads from Charlie in second, 2.2 seconds the gap, really dominating the Germans so far. Here comes F1 Robin for a go at 0, and bye-bye goes 0, back behind Robin, and Robin actually could have a run on Salas here running down towards turn 1. Can the German get the move done on the Brit? No, he can't. Salas stays in position, stays in 5th, runs wide slightly through the Rettifilio chicane. Now through Curva Grande once again for the 4th time. Tom is on the back of 0. We see the Racing Points could battle it out. 0's trying to go up the inside of Robin here, trying to get the move done, but look at Tom's overspeed now, trying to come in with a double toe, and he's going to go for a move down the inside of his teammate, not the wisest option, and backs off. Good move there, but the Welshman looking very competitive on the back of his fellow teammate and the Dutchman here. Of course, these teammates are only for the evaluation races. Now we see 0 running wide through the first leg. Well, Tom takes full advantage of that. He's through and he's up into 7. 0 drops down to 8th, and now Mays is on the back of 0. Overspeed should work in his favour, overtake mode should work in his favour, and the Brit just sailed on by. Mays is through, and he's up into 8th position. 0 backs off and lets Mays get the move done, but 0's going to have a run. Oh, and we see Maximus round through Ascari. Maximus ran through Ascari. Ascari again, similar to what we saw in Evaluation Race 2 last night. If you tuned in for that, you would have saw quite a few spins at Ascari, and it's certainly the case once again here tonight. So we're just looking up there on the back of Mays. Can confirm we are still live, which is good to see. We're 5 laps through. Robin now chasing down Salas. This is the 4th position. The top 3 have literally bolted away from the mid-pack. And F1 Robin now trying to go around the outside on Salas. The Brit is going to hang it in there on the inside line, but the Williams is through. F1 Robin is through. The German is through, and he's up into 4th position. 11 position gains. He could be chasing down the top 3 sooner rather than later. Salas going to have a fight back through Curva Grande and on the run towards Della Roggia chicane. No, he's not. Doesn't even close in on him. Tom beginning to close up as well in 6th position. 0 trying to fight back on the back of Mays. We see Nadal actually trying to catch up a little bit. Had a bit of a glitch with him early on. Looks like his connection has sorted itself out. Salas has been overtaken by Tom. I think Salas has made a mistake through the first race, but we're right on board actually with Nadal's connection. Once again, just picking out a little bit of a rubbish point really for connection-wise. As Salas chases down Tom on the run down towards Ascari. Tom hangs Pavia and hangs position, and Salas makes a slight mistake there through Ascari, gives Tom clean space, and could get Mays into contention. A good recovery there by 0, catches the outside curb, good recovery from him, and now Salas is a sitting duck. Here comes Mays down the inside. Oh, hand of rage there from Mays' driver, goodness me, he's down the inside line through Parabolica, gets the move done, but is he going to have the DRS? Is Salas going to have the DRS running down the straight? I think they've both got it in fact, so it could be a straight drag race down the straight. Who's got the overtake mode out? It's Mays. Mays has got the overtake mode out. 41% of ERS compared to Salas on 20%. Salas, oh, he's into the back of him. Slightly into the back of him. And I think a front wing... I thought a tiny little bit of front wing came off, but remind me, it is no damage at all. That was a leaf, I think, on the track. Salas on the back now of Mays. As he comes through Curva Grande. All the mid-pack battling all happening early on. As I repeat, the top 3 have literally bolted away. F1 AMG, by the way, was an 18.3, I think, in qualifying, or an 18.7, something like that in qualifying. I will confirm the results hopefully soon, if I can remember them, that is. Didn't take a photo in time. 0 on the back of Salas though. This is lap 6 out of 27. Halfway through lap 6 if you are being picky, but it's F1 AMG who leads. From Charlie 2nd, Conti 3rd, F1 Robin in 4th, Tom in 5th, Mays in 6th, Salas 7th, 0 in 8th position. Nadal trying to chase down Brewich. 2 Norwegians about to go battle. Oh, and we see a little bit of contact there actually with the wall, and that's Tom. He's lost control of the car through Ascari. Could be a sitting duck to both his teammate and to Salas as well. Salas trying to go down the inside. He's not close enough, but 0 tries to hang fire around the outside line. Could get a good run through Parabolica. Beautiful helicopter cabin. Could be 3 wide down the straight. Don't rule this out at all. So he will need to save up his DRS though. Salas is certainly going to have a go at Tom. And I think Salas actually might get the move done. Tom with the DRS. And here comes Passels as well into play. 2 by 2 like Noah's Ark they go. Tom gets the move done on Salas. Passels gets the move done on 0. So 2 position gains there. 1 for the Racing Point, 1 for McLaren, 0. Just bolted really out of that, and Pascal's through and he's up into 8th position, trying to have a fight into the position, but now Tom around the outside through Curva Grande. This is Silas trying to go on the inside line of Tom, but Tom has to hang fire too wide into the De La Rocha chicane, doesn't really go and doesn't really mix as proven last night. But Tom is through and he's up into 6th position. Silas up to 7th. Down to 7th, I should say. Now Pascal beginning to come into play. He's gained 5 positions in this race so far. Zero dropping 2. Nadal on the back of Brewich as well has gained 7. Has Brewich out on track as now Pascal tries to get closer onto the back of Silas. But Silas not gonna hang fire on that move. Nadal through on Brewich. Up to P10. And the Norwegian just cutting the sky slightly. Zero just all out of shape there once again. We see a good battle developing further down the field. Jeffrey looking in the mirrors of OWR Schumi. I should say Schumi is looking in the mirrors of this because the Red Bull against the Ferrari is going to happen very soon indeed. Yellow flag in sector 3. Tom has spun out the final corner. So Tom has spun out the final corner, has lost a whole host of positions. Not sure what happened there. I think he just got caught in a half spin. Passes though down the inside around the outside on Silas. This is into the Retifilio chicane. Tom is going to have a go as well, possibly. And Zero tries to force his way through on Nadal. Goodness me, there's all sorts of action happening in this mid-pack battle. This is 6th all the way down to roughly 11th because Brewich is now catching onto the back as well. And now Nadal trying to get onto the back of Tom. Oh, very late on the brakes. Oh, and Zero goes into the back of him. Zero into the back of Nadal. Not sure if that was a misjudgment, possibly. Obviously, Nadal is lagging probably in front of Zero, so I've got to stress that. And you can see the disconnection just literally happening right in front of Zero's eyes, which is so unfortunate. He's got to try and fight a way through. There's nothing he can do, though, about trying to get past a lag driver. It is the most horrible feeling anywhere for any driver at all. Brewich now on the back of Zero. I'm not getting the move done, neither is Jeffrey. This is a battle from Silas all the way down to Jeffrey, separated by roughly, what, 2.5 seconds? Wow. Jeffrey on the back of Brewich. This is for 12th position. Jeffrey caught unlucky with a bit of a spin earlier on. And now, it's Brewich going down the inside of Zero, takes full advantage. Zero really a sitting duck with the lack of EOS that he's got of deployment. Jeffrey on the back as well, trying to get the move done. Brewich just pulled away. Pit window now open. Lap 9 to 12 for the set of mediums for one-stop strategy. I think these guys can go a little bit further than that, though, possibly. Pascal tries to go around the outside of Silas, doesn't get the move done. Jeffrey through on Zero, though. He's up into 11th position. And the Dutchman finding his way and finding his feet back into this race. Silas holding up a train. Hop on board. I think all of these guys are going to Manchester, possibly for their one holiday in domestic Britain. Tom down the inside of Pascal's. Brilliant move. Pascal's just out onto perfection, but Tom has got the move done. The Welshman pulls off a sensational move down the inside through the Retifilio chicane. You saw that on stream. Beautiful move. He's up to 7th. Brewich just running wide there in the background of shot. Gives Jeffrey a look in, possibly Zero a look in as well. Down the inside he goes. Brewich and Zero are going to be side by side, and actually Schumi was trying to make it 3 wide, trying to go for a gap that's not really there. Not sure if Zero was trying to come across on him there. Difficult to say, but Brewich is through, Schumi is through, and Schumi tries to have a go. Brewich not quite. He's on a set of mediums. He should just be patient on that set of mediums. And Zero has lost 2 positions in pretty much the same amount of corners, to be honest there. So Brewich up to 11th, Schumi up to 12th. All of this battling happening further down the field as well, as Dim Miles is trying to catch onto the back of Maximus. Maximus struggling so far. Pascal's the first to come into the pits. And Maximus and Dim Miles actually coming into the pits after an incident possibly early on, or they've just decided to come on for tyres. Pascal's ran the outside, very late on the brakes. Nadal's trying to have a go in there as well. Oh, and literally Constantino effect and a half. Pascal's is literally bullied out of the way there by Nadal. But all's fair in love and war. They're saying Nadal ran the outside on Tom. Got to be careful, doesn't want to come across on him. Jeffrey has ran the outside of Pascal. You saw the sweeping move there. Battle to Falsey man as Tom is down the inside on Nadal. 2 into 1, doesn't go. And Tom down the inside line puts Jeffrey off as well. All sorts of chaos going on there. Tom down to 12th. Got to recover the car as well. So unfortunately, he was having a good race. He pulled off that good move in that corner. Just a lap ago on Pascal's. And now that has come back to bite him on the bum. Tom now down to 13th. Jeffrey on the back of Brewich. Can't really close in that much, to be honest, with DRS. Oh my goodness me, very late on the brakes, Jeffrey. Nearly too late, nearly went in the back of Braywich, and now Passel's under pressure, makes a mistake. Charlie into the pits, Conti into the pits from second and third. We'll go on to their pit stops in just a second, just to see if Passelt is going to defend off Jeffrey. Yes, he will. So then, Charlie into the pits on a set of mediums, and Conti into the pits on a set of mediums as well. And Charlie has got ahead of Conti quite comfortably in the pit stops, probably around 3 seconds when they come out the pit lane. And they're going to come out in a whole host of, well, gaggle of cars, to be honest. And actually, they've come out in pretty much clear air, which is good to see. They haven't came out in the gaggle of cars that I was saying, which Jeffrey and Shumi, 4th, 5th and 6th. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this race. Apologies about qualifying. It seems to be as if my controller has gone or something like that. That was the issue. And wall back, wall fine, wall still going, which is good. Braywich in 4th, Jeffrey 5th, Shumi in 6th. But it is still F1 AMG who leads the way. And there's a Williams 1-2 at this stage, with Robin trying to catch up in 2nd as well. Mason 3rd with Braywich in 4th. See there who's been into the pit stops and who hasn't. Jeffrey and Shumi still yet to pit among them. But Charlie now ahead of Conti as a result. Our Vanderlei still yet to come into the pit, as is NSR Storm. But leader's in. Leader into the pits. F1 AMG. You see F1 Robin on the other side of the track, so he could come into the pits as well. And the mechanics will be ready from, of course, AMG into the pits. In the Williams, is he going to come out in front of me? In front of Charlie and Shumi? Well, they're only coming around the final corner now. So F1 AMG has absolutely bolted. He's absolutely got ahead of these guys. It must be about 5 seconds at least he's going to come out the pits in front. There is Braywich coming down the straight, and there is Jeffrey as well. So there's Jeffrey, who hasn't been into the pits, and there's Charlie, who's on the back. You can see how much the gap is between F1 AMG and Charlie. That, to me, is definitely not 7 seconds. I can tell you that now. That looks further on the mini-map. Little mistake there by Tom through Ascari. Charlie, though, ran the outside of Shumi. Literally all sorts of battling going on. Charlie ran the outside. Done. He's up into P4, and Jeffrey is up to P3, is he? No, he's not. Up to P2, I should say. Braywich fighting off the attention of Charlie just for the moment. F1 AMG still first, Braywich 2nd, Jeffrey 3rd, Charlie 4th, and Shumi in 5th. Some of these guys still yet to come into the pit. Charlie got to fight his way through traffic here. He is roughly 8 seconds off the back of F1 AMG. But the German doing a fantastic job and really dominating. Could be the difference between him getting into Division 4 and Division 5 for TTML. And of course the season begins next week. Jeffrey, 3-second time penalty there. A little bit harsh, I think. But now Charlie going to use the overtake mode to good effect. He's down the inside on. He will get DRS on Braywich if he goes for the overtake as well. And there is Charlie down the inside. Braywich, I think, is going to be bullied out of this because I think he was lucky to come into the pits there, actually. Jeffrey is in. And now it's a side-by-side fight down towards turn 1. Charlie and Braywich. It looks like Charlie has now got the measure of Braywich. And he's now free of the traffic and he's through. He's up into 2nd position. The Mercedes man is through. There is Conti, by the way. The gap between Charlie and Conti, roughly 3 seconds. Pretty much as I said when they came out the pits. Jeffrey, in the meantime, is going to rejoin behind the likes of Nadal. Maybe even behind Zero as well. He will join behind Zero and ahead of Passel's, I think. So Jeffrey out ahead of Passel's. You can see the overcut happening there with Passel's, and the overspeed, I should say. Haas into the pit lane as well as Art Vanderlei. But really, now calming down, it seems, here in Evaluation Race 5. Very good race so far. Drivers looking good, and we are halfway through. It is F1 AMG who leads from Charlie in 2nd. Braywich 3rd with Shumi in 4th. Conti in 5th. As we see, yellow flag in Sector 1. That is, I think, for Art Vanderlei, who might have spun coming out of the pit lane. But Conti on the back of Shumi, though, in the meantime. Oh, runs too deep into the corner. And for net P3, he's comfortable for net P3. Robin is in behind him by 8.8 seconds. He can afford to make a couple of mistakes, but not many. This track is quite punishing at times. Nadal in the meantime and Silas going on for a battle. And Nadal is through and he's up into 8th position. Silas dropping off. Man, I made a slight mistake through Ascari, but Nadal is through and he's up into 8th position. Apologies that I missed that move. But Maximus ran the outside of NSR Storm. Whether he was ghosted or not, that's a brilliant move. Maximus around the outside. You can see how difficult it is with this game only being out the first couple of weeks. that they still need to patch some of the things. Storm is there, I can tell you he is definitely there and driving that car. Maximus has just done him for chips, around the outside of Ascari, gets the move done, and he's through and he's up into 13th position, and that is Maximus at his brilliant best. Back to the battle for third. Braywich now coming back to Schumi, and Schumi now coming back to Conti as well. Toro Rosso, Red Bull and Ferrari. Take your pick out of these three. Braywich and Schumi, of course, still yet to come into the pits, but they could give Conti a lot of trouble here. And that gap between Conti and Robin was 8.8 2 laps ago. It's now 7 seconds, and now Conti uses that overtake mode to good effect. Bye-bye Red Bull, I think, on that one. Conti is through, and he's up into 4th position. Schumi has no fight back on that. And the Red Bull man having to conserve his tyres. You can see a bit of overheating possibly occurring now in the rears. Storm has dropped down the field, by the way, through yellow flag in Sector 1. Day Miles, I think, as well, has dropped off a little bit. So, Day Miles picks up a 3-second time penalty. F1 AMG still leads, 8.7 seconds to Charlie. Braywich in 3rd, Conti 4th, there is Schumi in 5th position. Nadal, though, is coming into play. Mays has undercut some of these guys in the pit lane. Mays currently running in a net P5 when Braywich and Schumi come into the pits, but now could be outgunned by Nadal. And Nadal looking for a clean move here. Got to watch out on his ERS, but that's a clean sailing move going by. You can just see running down the straight. Beautiful camera shot actually as we go on board, running down towards turn 1, head on towards turn 1. Nadal is through and he's up into 7th position on Mays. Currently was for a net P5 for Nadal. So good move there, and one of the Norwegians, one of the rookies here in TTML this season. In fact, everyone is a rookie in TTML because it's just season 1. If you are familiar with some of the guys from TTL F1 League 1, Nadal didn't race with us last season, so he is a new driver to us. We're going to see a move on Conti with Conti on Braywich. Good move there by Conti. Easy as you like, saving up his ERS as much as he wants as well. Picks up a 3-second time, but I don't think he cares about that, to be honest. He's through, and he's up to P3. Conti through. What was I saying? Yeah, some of these guys obviously are brand new drivers to TTL F1 League 2. Zero now down the inside on Salas, running down through towards Ascari. Pulls across on him. Beautiful move. Racing Point is through on the Alfa Romeo. He's through and he's up to 9th position. Could be for a net P6 or P7 that as well. Just in behind Mays and Nadal. Is Salas going to have a fight back? Braywich and Schumi now relinquish their positions and come into the pits. F1 AMG leads. Oh, Zero going wide there, nearly onto the sausage curb on the outside. But now Salas ranges up on Zero. Is he going to go for the overtake? Can make two moves running down the straight. Salas not opting to do any of that, and he's through. Zero gives him the right away the corner, right away the position. He's through and he's up to 7th, but look at who was hunting down. Oh, and just saying that, commentator's curse, literally taken from my words at all. Jeffrey is round, through turn 1. Salas and Zero having a great battle though through Curva Grande, and the Alfa Romeo's trying to come back around the outside. Zero's gone way too deep, way too much. He will have to give up the position, surely. Way too deep on the power, gives up the position. Salas back through and he's up to 7th. Good sportsmanship, Chul. Now that's what we like to see here in TTML. Salas back through up to 7th. Zero just overcommitted completely on the brakes. It was a great battle until that point. Zero just needs to watch out for his braking points though. Is he going to come back in the DRS on the back of Salas? No is the answer. He's got to save up his ERS. He's only running 13% of ERS coming through Ascari, so that's not better either. 22% of ERS. Ashumi has got the move done on Passels further down the field, so he's now through and he's up into 11th position. But a lot of good battling here, and Zero's trying to go all the way around the outside on Silas. Trying to go around the outside of Parabolica. Surely not. As he pulled off the move here, Silas is going to go and use overtake mode. That surely is a use of overtake mode. It's not. He uses the overtake mode to get past, but now Zero, in desperation, is coming back at him. But look, no ERS running down the straight. He's got to turn it down, and Salas is back through and he's up to 7th. Trying to outgun him around the outside. Gap to the lead, 9.4 seconds. F1 AMG still leads from Charlie 2nd, Conti 3rd. Nothing really happening, to be honest, at the front of the field. There's nothing really happened at the front of the field for pretty much quite a while. Charlie looks like he's getting closed in though by Conti, which could be an interesting ploy as we come towards the end of the race. Zero on the back of Salas. This could be a move done for Zero. I would back off and probably go for the move down in towards Ascari, and I think he realises that might be the best option for Zero. F1 AMG though still leading. Charlie second, Conti third, Salas is round. Salas is round, getting caught outside curb. He's recovered the car well. No damage, of course, on here tonight. Jeffrey through as well on Salas. Not really a dangerous rejoin there either. Brewich is on the back. Brewich going for the move down the inside of Silas. Oh, has a look in and half spins and spins into the wall. Brewich not going to go for the move. He had the overspeed, more than entitled enough to go for the move as Silas runs wide, and Shumi now retakes that place for 9th position. Silas's race has gone from bad to worse possibly. And the Alfa Romeo man, who was running just in front of Zero in 7th position, has now dropped 3 positions in the space of 1 lap. Which is unfortunate for us, and it's unfortunate for you guys tuning in as well, because I think that might be the end of the battling. But Salas is going to desperately try and come back here on Shumi. F1 AMG though still leads 2/3 of the way through here at the Autodromo Nacional de Monza. If you're just tuning in now, you've pretty much missed a lot. But F1 AMG leads, Charlie second, Conti in third. Let's have a look at the position gains actually while we can. And F1 Robin really going up through the field. The German having a very good race. 11 positions gained. Could be one of the title contenders this season in TTML in TTML Division 5 possibly. Of course, these positions can all change. These positions can all change due to penalties, and they can definitely all change as well because the official tiers have not been decided yet. So all of these guys are putting themselves on the line for possible spaces in maybe higher divisions, and maybe, well, I would say lower divisions, but this is the lowest division you can probably get, Division 5. But F1 AMG leads 1.3 seconds. We run on board with Conti. That gap I was saying was closing up. It was 3 seconds at one point. Conti now is on the back foot of Charlie. It's 4 seconds on my screen, and that is actually good because Miles actually is ahead of him out on track. So Miles is ahead of him out on track, the Welshman. So that means Conti has got to overtake essentially what will be a lapped car. I think Ghosting is on, so it should be no problem at all. But what I tend to find, certainly when I commentate and when the ghosting system is on, is that I can off-put a driver trying to go for the overtake. So Conti, for example, is now beginning to close up on Miles. Miles will have to get out of the way. There'll be blue flags and everything. He doesn't have to because there is ghosting. But that ghosted car can really put off, especially going through the corners, it can really put off the car behind. And you can see the blue flags in operation there as Conti now closes up to the back of the hat. He's still probably around 2.5 seconds away, I would say, running through there. In the meantime, though, we'll catch on board with a developing story, and this is Jeffrey fighting back through the field. He's only lost 5 positions from his qualifying start of 3rd. And Jeffrey on the back of Zero. Just to clarify, by the way, about the positions in qualifying, it was F1 AMG on top, Charlie 2nd, and Jeffrey 3rd in qualifying. I didn't get the timings for qualifying. I will get the overall positions, hopefully, for the end of the race. Which is unfortunate because I was going to take a photo and I disconnected right at the point where I was going to take a photo from the session. F1 AMG though, leading the way. Charlie 2nd, Conti 3rd, and Conti reeling them in. 3.2 seconds. Jeffrey reeling in Zero. Could be a double go here for the Tifosi on 2 drivers out on track. Conti trying to have a go at Charlie. He just drops out of the 10-second margin now to AMG ahead. But Jeffrey's coming into play. Very quick driver on his day, Jeffrey. Showing good resolution and good fight and good attitude to come back here. And looks to me as if he's going to get Zero, maybe within the next 2 laps or so. 14% of EOS coming into the Della Roger chicane. That soon goes up. Just to speak about the EOS system as well, as Tom has ran through turn 1 on the mini-map. Just to speak about the EOS, if you are brand new to Formula 1, you're tuning in to one of my commentaries and one of my... and to TTTV for the first time, then the ERS system that we have here in Formula 1 is the energy recovery system. Long story short, watch when Jeffrey breaks into the corner. You'll see in the bottom right. So when he breaks into the corner, that energy recovers itself and goes up. So you saw there, he had 24% just running down the straight. It then went up to 32%. Same applies. Now he's using overtake mode. He now wastes away that ERS, the energy recovery system, to try and catch the driver ahead. The overtake button is a new introduction as well to F1 2020. brand new introduction for the drivers to try and get past. It is an easier ERS management system rather than fiddling about on a controller or on a wheel. Certainly believe Codemasters have done a good thing for that. And another good thing as well, I think, that Codemasters have done on this F1 2020 game is introduce some of the new Amazon Web Service graphics. So we see like the pit window, and we see as well the tyre strategies coming up. And they've also implemented, I'll just pause it for a minute, invite friends. I can invite somebody into the game, which is absolutely fantastic. They dreamt up of that for F1 2020, which is fantastic. It's good that I can invite if anybody lagged out, say for example NSR Storm, if I had him on my friends list, I could reasonably invite him within 30 seconds back into the lobby, which is not too bad at all. We're still right on board though with Jeffrey, hunting down Zero, 7th and 8th position. And also, I was going to mention about the DRS as well. Nobody's close enough for the DRS though, out on track. We'll continue right on board with Jeffrey because he's the closest. He is beginning to close in now down the straight. Could just be within DRS range. Oh, it's very tight. There was the DRS activation point. Just within a second, but now goes back out for a second, and you can see, no, it doesn't have the DRS. The DRS, by the way, another new thing that I can introduce here in James's TED Talk. It's the drag reduction system. This gives, I think it's something like 20 mile an hour extra in terms of power, which is quite fantastic, I think, for the drivers. It tries to promote good overtaking and good driving out on track, as Damars has been disqualified for going the wrong way, I think that was. Maybe reversing, making a mistake. Penalty system is quite harsh on that front. But Damars disqualified. He was running down in 16th when that happened. And it's the first non-finisher out of the race. But now Jeffrey hunting down. There is the drag reduction system now in operation. Is he going to be close enough now down towards the Ascari for the move? No, is the simple answer to that. No way, Jose, is he close enough for that move. But we'll see if he'll try again as we run on board with him. We're about to go on to lap 23. We are on lap 23, in fact. F1 AMG leads by 10 seconds from Charlie in second. Conti in third, Robin in fourth. Nadal in fifth, having a good race, I've got to say. With Mace in sixth, another one having a good race. Zero in seventh, but now Jeffrey hunting down his Dutch compadre. Is he going to try and go for the move done? He's got less ERS than him, but now he's going to try and pull off the move. He's going to have to go all the way around the outside and towards turn one. Very late on the brakes, Jeffrey. Zero even later on the brakes. He's overcooked it once again. Rejoins track. He doesn't. He rejoins track behind Jeffrey. Jeffrey, move done, up to seventh. Zero again.